Coming up in the news, police conducting an island-wide road check. Also, a place of shelter in need of urgent assistance. And a tree planted in honor of the country's 48th anniversary of independence. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Wolf-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, police launching a new program on Grand Bahama. Officers conducting an island-wide road check, but this time things were done a bit differently. As Italia Hall reports, the goal is to save lives. Police officers were out in full force on the streets of Grand Bahama conducting road checks, but this time around, no tickets were distributed for the traffic offenses. The effort is called the Safe Driver Award Program, an initiative by the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Superintendent of Police Dr. Chaswell Hanna, commander of the Western Division in New Providence, says it is important for motorists to know that the police is not always out to arrest people or to issue tickets.
All of the encounters that you have with the police does not have to be negative. We are out here doing something positive. What we've decided to do is to make use of what is known as positive reinforcement. Yes, we have violators, road users who are driving in excess of the speed limit, but not everybody speeds. A number of persons, majority of persons, drive within the speed limit. And so we want to promote this whole idea of road safety that is outlined in our Commissioner of Police plan for 2021. In fact, priority number 5, which speaks to road safety. And what we're doing is we are using our speed radar gun, and we are looking for motorists who are driving within the speed limits. We're going to pull them over, and no, we're not going to give them a ticket. We're going to give them something better. We're going to give them an award.
He says certificates will be presented to those road users for safe driving.
We want them to let members of their community know that yes, they were pulled over by the police, but not to get a ticket, to get an award. We also gave them a commemorative anniversary t-shirt for the police force, and we let them record a short video to describe how they felt by getting pulled over by the police. Some of the persons were pulled over this morning were shocked because they wondered, what did I do wrong? We told them, no, you didn't do anything wrong. We just wanted to say thank you.
Superintendent Hanna says the goal is to reduce the amount of traffic accidents and traffic deaths on the streets.
We started this initiative in the Western Division in New Providence. And if you know, the airport road in New Providence has a historic, over many years, been the place where a number of fatalities have occurred. So what we're doing in Western Division, we found that when we introduced this initiative, drivers slow down and we reduce the number of fatalities and crashes, and we want to do the same thing here in Grand Bahama.
Dennis Cunningham, a resident, receiving the first award from police on East Sunrise Highway.
When I got stopped by the police, I was trying to figure out what it is because I know I within 40. And I was asking the wife, hey, what is the speed limit here? She ain't really too sure. And then I was addressed by the kind officer here. Yeah. And he informed me that I was about to get an award for safe driving. How much? 60. And I was the first one to do it. So I mean, it's kind of an honor. It's kind of an honor and surprising.
Cunningham had this bit of advice for other road users.
Slow down, man, to save lives. Slow down. And wear your seatbelt.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News. Well, a place of refuge for some of the most vulnerable within the community facing a dire situation. With thousands of dollars now owed to the local utility companies, the home is on the verge of a possible blackout, and the water supply could also be disconnected. Tonight, the owner is pleading with residents of Grand Bahama to help them keep a roof over the heads of those who need it most. The home away from home that was originally designed as a place for the aged has now become a home to the homeless, the sick and shut-in, and even psychiatric patients. The twin buildings located in Caravel Beach is owned by Murphy Knowles, who admits that there are many who live within the homes who are unable to pay $1 to stay there. Yet, she says as long as there is space, she'll continue to provide shelter. But Noel says unfortunately the home has fallen on extremely hard times since Hurricane Dorian and the pandemic.
Loved ones was really struggling trying to keep up with their payments also too here at the nursing home. So everything just got a little kind of hard over the last 2 years.
With nearly 50 occupants and limited income, she says the power bill is $60,000, and they recently had a leak that has left them with a whopping water bill of $15,000, and that's with a credit.
Everybody say, well, how it got so high, like what you asking now? Basically, it's a lot of washing of clothes every day. We wash about almost close to 15 loads to 20 loads of clothes a day because of the amount of people that we have here at the nursing home, just as well as drying the clothes. Not that we want to use the dryer, but like on days like this would really better and stuff like that, because we have to dry the clothes.
Noel says the power was turned off last month, but if it turns off again, then she doesn't know what will happen to the many disabled and sick persons who call this place home.
And the Port Authority was grateful to me to give me $2,000, and I was managed to raise $5,000. So we took in like $7,000 to them to actually turn us back on, to keep us on. But they was merciful not to turn us off, but yet they still think, I need to do a little bit more, which, and yes, I totally agree that need to do a little bit more.
Noel says she received calls from people all over, including the local hospital, to take in persons who have no place to go. And despite receiving some social assistance for those who are eligible, there are many who are not. Yet she receives no subsidy from the government.
Some of the MPs that come here to the nursing home and they ask me what I'm doing, and I explain to them what I'm doing. They came inside, they saw what I'm doing and everything, and it's no changes. It's no changes. And I know everybody heard about Home Away from Home. I know everybody heard about Murphy Knows, and everybody will give me, thumbs up. You understand? But yeah, thumbs ups are good, but faith without work is...
As she appeals for the public's assistance to help keep the lights and water on for the most vulnerable in this community, she says she's not asking for the cash in hand.
The light bill is in Home Away from Home name. The water bill is in my name, or it's in Robert Enterprise, but they trying to change it into Home Away from Home, and so on. And you could pay it. Or take or buy some groceries or something, because the grocery bill is very high. It's over $3,000 to feed all these people every month. And the toiletries and the cleaning products, we spend over close to $1,000 just on bleach and pine sols and stuff like that.
Well, in other news, businesses across the country doing their part to move into the digital age. More persons are now moving away from cash, and they are using more digital services as it is considered a safer way of doing business. Tonight, a digital payment institution is sharing their story, and they're encouraging more Bahamians to get on board. Italia Hall reports.
Carib Pay Bahamas, widely known as Canoe, is an electronic retail payment institution with over 22,000 active users across the country. Chief Sales Officer Javon Butler says the company all started in 2016 with a group of young men.
I came on board with the team 2018, and we received our license from the Central Bank of the Bahamas the first quarter 2019, and we went to market December 2019. Now, we love to inform the public that we are a licensee of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, so Canoe is a Grand Bahamian-based company.
Now, there are several companies that uses the digital payment platform in Grand Bahama.
So you can do a peer-to-peer transfer. I can send you money through the Canoe app right now. Company can pay their staff using the Canoe app, using the payroll feature. We also offer digital gift cards for local businesses. So whereas you see a lot of people buying the Amazon and the Best Buy gift cards, we have over 40 merchants who actually sell their gift cards through the Canoe ecosystem. You can push coupons out in the ecosystem if you're a business owner. For users, if you need to get funds from abroad, that can be done as well, where someone can send you funds into the Canoe ecosystem. And lastly, most importantly, and the latest feature we put out there is an invoicing feature.
The Chief Sales Officer admitting that services were hindered on Grand Bahama due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
In the pandemic, of course, we had a lot of curfews, a lot of lockdowns, and we ended up with the majority of our team being stranded in New Providence. And of course, with the travel restrictions, and in Grand Bahama, you didn't want anyone coming out of Nassau, so we had to wait for things to settle down to get back to the level of normalcy. We now have the vaccinations that are going out, people are becoming vaccinated, and we are here at Grand Bahama.
He says it is important for the country to move towards a cashless system.
We want the country to get cashless because of convenience, because of security, because of safety, health reasons, as well as just to keep the entire country connected. I can stand here and I can send funds to a loved one in Exuma, and they can simply go to one of the locations and withdraw those funds in Exuma. You know, someone in Abaco can send funds to somebody in Grand Bahama and vice versa.
Now, allegations have been made suggesting that the company is owned by members of the government. The chief sales officer had this response.
Our lawyers have advised us not to have any comment on that, but everything is in the public domain and anyone can go to the Registrar of the Bahamas to see who owns Canoe.
It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Tonight, we continue our week-long series highlighting agriculture in an independent Bahamas. In this report, we talk to a woman who is taking an unconventional approach in the agriculture industry in Grand Bahama, and she says aquaponics is the way forward in the industry. Jamila Mizik has more in this report.
My name is Tiffany Dennison. I'm the owner and operator of Local Organics Limited. This leg of the project is aquaponic growing of local and organically grown spring mix.
Tiffany Dennison has been in the aquaponics business on Grand Bahama since 2014. She says their aquaponics system incorporates agriculture and aquaculture, in which the waste produced by farm tilapia supplies the nutrients for plants grown hydroponically, which in turn purifies the water. Her master's degree in environmental law has fueled her drive to promote a healthier way of life.
Our country suffers with diabetes, hypertension, cancer, heart problems, and a lot of it is based on processed food. But here we can grow naturally, organically, and I think that's something our people deserve, is to have organic food as well that's good for our health. We have copious amounts of sun. Okay, we don't have much soil in Grand Bahama, but we can grow alternatively with hydroponics or aquaponics. So I've seen a need for food sustainability for a very, very long time. I think after Dorian, everybody else is just getting how much of a delicate situation we are truly, truly in.
Dennison says she believes Bahamians were more self-sufficient back in the 70s, especially in the Family Islands. But as the country celebrates 48 years as an independent nation, she says she believes aquaponics is the way of the future for agriculture in the Bahamas.
And what we do have is good for things like cassava, corn. So there are certain crops that are very, very good for us to grow in what we have, but things like this are not. And of course, so we kind of fell out of the food sustainability because it is so backbreaking, because it is hard work, it's a lot of limestone, because we could just get food sent to us. And I think we almost became a bit lazy with it. So this way we can grow, and this is the way future for the whole world is food and water, safety and quantity. And so I think at this point, being able to grow this much crop in this small of an area is obviously the way the future is, and is an easier, a much more productive way to actually grow. And it also saves a lot of water. We just continue to recycle the water. We're not watering crops every day that then just dissipates into the ground.
She says she remains hopeful that eventually Bahamians will become self-sustaining in agriculture.
We need to step up for our own people, for the care of our own people. We all know the world is changing. We're living in a pandemic, which we never thought we'd do at this point. The world is changing, and if things continue to change and we don't adapt, we're going to get left behind and we're not going to be able to feed ourselves. So I hope so, and I think everybody kind of gets it now. And we have great farmers that come to the farmers market every Saturday. We have people that are now doing pigs. I mean, it's, you know, I do eggs. So a lot of people are getting involved now, and I hope it stays. I hope we're able to carry this wave of being aware of our own food sustainability and our very precarious position. And I hope that continues, because this is a really, for me, I find it very therapeutic, actually.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
The Our Garden Farmers Market Fest committee to hold its second Farmers Market Fest this coming Saturday at the Community Park Ranfilly Circle. To date, the Farmers Market Fest has attracted 25 participating vendors selling produce, plants, straw bags, jewelry, bush teas, Bahamian dishes, souvenirs, and so much more. Committee Chairperson Judith Dawkins says they are excited by the overwhelming participation from vendors who have used limited and scarce resources to invest in their home-based business to sow the seed and reap the benefits. The Farmers Market Fest will be held this Saturday between the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's going to take us to our first break. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.